Assalamualaikum everyone, this is Mikra Avery from Rehan's Cooking. First, Raj vacancies here पर और
Oh, hey, good to
Hi
hear from
Maya,
you.
how are you? Hi Maya, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Glad to have you back. What's been on your mind since we last
Okay, so
talked?
Maya, my first question is, what is the basic meaning of shh?
It's basically a way to tell someone to be quiet, usually when you don't want them or someone else to make noise. Like when you're trying not to wake someone up or when you're asking someone to not tell a secret. It's pretty universal, honestly.
Okay, so my next question is,
Hmm.
when and why do people use shh?
Yeah, cut out for a second there. What were you asking about? When and why people use? Got it. Something about being excited? Well, want to make sure I caught that right. You're curious about when and why people use instead of actually. You said, let's put it down.
Okay, so my next question
What are you meaning by that?
is shh a universal sound understood across all cultures?
That's a good question. Shh is pretty widespread, but not actually universal. It turns out a lot of cultures use different sounds for be quiet. Some use clicks or hisses, some rely more on a certain hand gesture or pointing to their mouths instead of even making noise. So, yeah, the idea that everyone understands that shh means quiet isn't quite as global as we think. Makes you wonder how many other things we assume are universal when they're really just what we grew up with, right?
Okay, so my next question is, where might the origin of shh come from?
I'm not following. Can you repeat that last part about where might the order have come from? I think I missed what you were asking there.
Okay, so my next question is, how does the use of shh of different cross cultures?
I'm still catching bits of what you're saying. Are you asking how different people learn to use as kids?
Okay, so my next question is shh considered rude in some societies?
Okay, so let me see if I'm following. You're asking how kids learn what means? I'd say it's mostly through modeling, like when parents or caregivers use it around them. They hear it in quiet situations and see the effect it has that someone quiets down. And then they probably start to copy it themselves, experimenting until they figure out what it does. Pretty much how they pick up most language stuff, just repeated exposure.
Okay, so my next question is, what role does shh play in places like schools and libraries?
You're like, I'm getting a bit lost here with the transcription noise, but I think you might have been asking about what role plays in schools or universities. Is that right? I'm catching bits about Shukla Hindraces, but I'm not sure what that's referring to. Maybe try rephrasing that part? Okay. Like we're running into some technical issue. Connection. I'm picking up a lot of static. Could you try speaking a little closer to your mic? Or maybe switch to a different device if possible? It's making it hard to follow everything you're saying.
Okay, so my next question is, how do people typically react when they hear shh?
I think I'm still hearing some interference with the call. Are you able to hear me clearly? Maybe we could switch to texting for a bit if the audio keeps cutting out.
Okay, so my next question is why does this sound often have a calming effect on the brain?
That's interesting. What made you think about the sound having a calming effect? You're welcome. Is there anything else you wanted to ask or talk about today?
Okay, so my next question is can have reduce anxiety or stress?
Okay, let me see if I understand. Are you asking something about how businesses use shh or some kind of quiet signal? That seems like an unusual situation to think about.
Okay, so my next question is why do children respond quickly to
Are you asking why kids respond quickly to shh? I think part of it might be that it feels kinda special, like, you're being let in on a secret when someone uses it. Plus, adults usually use "shh" when they want something important to happen quietly, so kids probably pick up that it means that this is serious even if they don't totally understand the words.
Okay, so my next question is what does or mean in texting?
That's a good question. I think "shh" in texting is pretty similar to saying it out loud. You'd use it when you wanna tell someone to keep quiet about something. Maybe if you're gossiping or talking about a surprise. Though honestly, using it online feels kind of playful instead of serious, like you're being a bit mysterious rather than actually trying to hush someone, you know? Does that make sense? Right. Sorry about that transcription noise again. Are you asking if people understand what "shh" means when they read it in a text message?
Okay, so my next question is have emojis like replaced the use of
That's a really interesting question. You think emojis have replaced using "shh" for quiet? In some ways, yeah, maybe people might send a quiet or hush emoji instead now. But I feel like still has this intimacy to it. It's direct and a bit playful. Emojis feel more detached, I guess. Though I can definitely see people using the zipped mouth emoji instead these days. What do you think?
so my next question is did not exist how would people signal silence?
Good question. If didn't exist, people would probably rely way more on nonverbal cues, like physically putting a finger to their lips, making eye contact and shaking their head, or just giving a pointed look. I bet different cultures have their own nonverbal ways to signal silence too, maybe hand gestures or specific facial expressions. Without any signal at all, it would probably just cause confusion.
Okay, so my next question is
Well,
an
anything.
example of non-verbal communication?
Exactly. Itself is a sound, but the whole gesture, using the sound plus sometimes the hand motion with your finger to your lips, it's all about sending a message without actually saying words. You're communicating without traditional language. Nonverbal cues are huge for communication anyway. Body language, tone, facial expressions, But yeah, shushing is like this perfect example of getting your message across through sound rather than through speech. Anything else you wanted to explore about or
Yes,
communication
my
stuff today?
next question is what dramatic effect does create in movies or dramas?
That's a great angle. Shh. in movies and dramas can create all sorts of tension. It can signal something secretive is happening, like a character's hiding or sneaking around. Or it can build suspense when you know something bad's about to happen, that quiet moment before the reveal. It can even make scenes feel more intimate when it's used between characters who are connecting privately. It's kind of a lazy but effective storytelling shortcut. Boom, instant suspense without any setup. They use it all the time in horror movies before jump scares, don't they?
Okay, so my next question is how might the use of change in the future as communication evolves?
You mean how might change as communication evolves? I guess it might get used less for actual silencing and more as shorthand for mystery or drama. We might see it show up ironically, maybe someone else when they're being too dramatic instead of when they need to be quiet. Or maybe it'll just become totally replaced by emojis or GIFs. Who knows how people will signal silence in 10 years? Mm. Okay, thanks for letting me know about the transcription. Yeah, this call seems to be having some audio issues.
Okay, thank you so much everyone. But thank you for next episode. Take care.
Very welcome. It was fun diving deep into the world of shh